Right then, fellow wanderers, before you book that dream holiday and end up queuing for 3 hours to see an overpriced rock, let me save you from the tourist trap nightmares that will drain your wallet faster than a pint disappears at last orders. I'm Jetset Jeremy, and after 15 years of globe-trotting and making every mistake possible, I've compiled the ultimate list of tourist traps you absolutely must avoid. Now, before we dive in, I'm not here to crush your travel dreams or tell you to stay home and watch Netflix. Far from it, I want you to have brilliant adventures without getting fleeced like a sheep in the Cotswolds. If you've been to one of these spots and absolutely loved it, good on you. I'm not here to ruin your memories, just to offer a reality check for anyone else booking. So grab a cuppa, settle in, and let me share the hard-earned wisdom that'll keep your holiday fund intact and your sanity preserved. Let's start with the granddaddy of all tourist traps, Times Square in New York City. Blimey, what a nightmare this place has become. Picture this, you're shoulder to shoulder with thousands of other tourists, surrounded by blokes in knockoff superhero costumes who smell like they haven't seen soap since the Clinton administration, all while paying $20 for a hot dog that tastes like cardboard. The restaurants are overpriced chains, the shops sell tat you can buy anywhere, and the only thing authentic about the experience is your genuine disappointment. Skip it entirely and explore neighborhoods like Greenwich Village, or the High Line instead. Moving across the pond to Europe, Venice's St. Mark's Square is absolutely mental during peak season. You'll pay €15 for a coffee that costs €2 literally anywhere else in the city, just because you're sitting where pigeons have been doing their business for centuries. The queues are endless, the crowds are suffocating, and you'll spend more time looking at the backs of other tourists' heads than actual architecture. Instead, venture to the quieter districts like Dorsoduro, or take a water taxi to the outer islands for authentic Venetian charm without the circus. The Hollywood Walk of Fame deserves special mention for being simultaneously famous and utterly disappointing. It's essentially a pavement with names on it, surrounded by aggressive street performers, dodgy souvenir shops, and a vibe that feels more tragic than cinematic. You'll find yourself stepping over homeless encampments while dodging costume characters, demanding tips for photos you didn't want. The whole experience feels like paying to visit an outdoor shopping centre that's seen better decades. Prague's Old Town Square might look magical in photos, but the reality is quite different. Restaurant tilts will practically drag you inside establishments charging 50% markup just because they face the square. The Astronomical clock draws massive crowds who stand there for hours waiting for a brief mechanical puppet show that lasts about 30 seconds. Meanwhile, pickpockets work the distracted crowds like they're running a masterclass in creative wealth redistribution. I don't love booking flights and arranging trips, mostly because I value my sanity. That's why I use Kiwi.com. It does the legwork and lets me pretend I'm in control. Let's talk about Dubai's Gold Souk, where haggling becomes a contact sport and authenticity goes to die. Vendors quote prices that would make your mortgage broker blush, then act personally offended when you don't immediately hand over your life savings for jewelry that might have seen gold in a previous lifetime. The pressure selling tactics are relentless, and you'll leave feeling like you've survived a particularly aggressive timeshare presentation. Bangkok's floating markets have become floating tourist farms. What once showcased genuine local commerce has transformed into staged performances for camera-wielding visitors. Vendors often don traditional costumes on cue for tourist arrivals, turning what was once local commerce into staged nostalgia. They sell overpriced trinkets made in factories rather than local crafts. The authentic floating markets still exist, but they're not the ones your tour guide takes you to. The Great Wall of China at Badaling section is like hiking a historic monument during a Black Friday sale. Queues, chaos, and zero serenity. You'll be packed in tighter than commuters on the underground during rush hour, moving at a snail's pace while trying to get that perfect photo with several thousand of your new best friends photobombing every shot. The vendors are relentless, the facilities are overwhelmed, and the experience feels more like surviving an endurance test than appreciating one of humanity's greatest achievements. Paris's Champs-Élysées has become an outdoor shopping mall, masquerading as cultural heritage. The cafes charge tourist prices for mediocre food, the shops are international chains you could find anywhere, and the whole boulevard feels like a theme park version of Parisian elegance. Real Parisians avoid it like Parisians avoid soggy sandwiches and tourist menus, and you should too. Rome's Spanish Steps area is pickpocket central, disguised as a romantic destination. Street vendors selling questionable roses will follow you like persistent salespeople, while organized groups of professional pickpockets work the distracted crowds. The restaurants nearby charge premium prices for reheated pasta that would make an Italian grandmother weep. Here's what makes these places particularly insidious. They're not completely terrible. There are genuine historical or cultural elements that originally made them worth visiting, but commercial exploitation has transformed them into expensive disappointments that leave travelers feeling cheated and cynical about authentic cultural experiences. Let me tell you something most travel influencers won't. Booking flights is a rigged game. Airlines hide routes, prices change faster than your Wi-Fi can load the page, and multi-city itineraries are like Sudoku on expert mode. Kiwi.com doesn't just simplify the process, it rewrites the rules. Their algorithm scans multiple airlines and booking systems, stitching together smarter, cheaper routes you won't find on the usual sites. It's the travel hack seasoned nomads use but rarely talk about. I've used it to save hundreds, sometimes by just being willing to fly out of a different city or with a quick layover. If you're serious about stretching your travel budget, click the link below and let Kiwi.com turn chaos into efficiency. It's not just a booking platform, it's how I outsmart the system. I once saved hundreds just by flying out of Milan instead of Rome, thanks to Kiwi. The psychology behind tourist traps is fascinating and depressing in equal measure. They exploit our desire for convenient, Instagram-worthy experiences by packaging authenticity into easily digestible, overpriced portions. They prey on our fear of missing out while simultaneously ensuring we miss out on genuine local culture. So, what's the alternative? Research beyond the first page of Google results. Talk to locals, explore neighborhoods where tourists don't typically venture, and embrace spontaneous discoveries. The best travel experiences rarely happen at famous landmarks surrounded by tour groups and souvenir stands. Use technology wisely. Apps like TripAdvisor and Google reviews can help, but read between the lines. Extremely positive reviews written in broken English might be fabricated, while overly negative reviews might come from entitled travelers who expected 5-star service at hostel prices. Budget your disappointment fund. If you absolutely must visit famous landmarks, go early morning or late evening when crowds thin out. Accept that you'll pay premium prices and plan accordingly, but don't let these experiences dominate your entire trip. Consider alternative timing. Visiting popular destinations during shoulder seasons or weekdays can dramatically improve your experience while reducing costs. Venice in November might be rainy, but it's also magical without the summer hordes. Remember, the goal isn't to avoid every popular destination, but to approach them strategically. Some places earn their reputations legitimately, while others survive purely on marketing momentum from decades past. The travel industry has become expert at monetizing our wanderlust, but that doesn't mean we have to be passive consumers. Be skeptical of anything marketed as unmissable or once in a lifetime. The most memorable travel experiences often happen in places you've never heard of, with people whose names you'll remember years later. If this list triggered you, congratulations, you're probably planning a trip to one of these places right now. Smash that like button out of spite and subscribe for more travel truths you didn't ask for. Your holiday time and money are precious resources. Don't waste them standing in queues surrounded by other disappointed tourists, paying inflated prices for manufactured experiences like dropping €25 on a selfie next to a wax statue in 40-degree heat. The world is massive, fascinating, and full of authentic adventures waiting for travelers brave enough to venture beyond the well-trodden tourist highways. Happy travels, and remember, if everyone's going there, maybe you shouldn't.